There we go, the stream started. And I've got a timer here as well. I'm trying to do 500 hours of streaming.
500 hours?
Yeah, in 2025.
Alright.
Alright, so what do you know about DJing so far?
Yeah, no, nothing.
Nothing at all?
I mean,
right now, look, we've got songs on both sides.
Yeah.
Do you know how to start it?
No.
Nothing. Okay, that's fine. So to start, we're just gonna press this.
Play pause,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Just gonna actually leave the door open. Aerate a little bit. So right now, nothing's gonna change. This is just that. This is just going on for 2.5 minutes. I just made this morning. Now the whole point of DJing is to combine two songs together. Two songs together, right?
Yeah.
And so here, if we press Q, that's not gonna play the song. It's playing until I let go, right?
Right.
So this is this. As soon as I let go, it stops. I've got the bass down, but if I press play, then it keeps going forever, right? That's what's happening over there. The whole point of DJing is to combine two songs as seamlessly as possible. These two tracks are the exact same, but all we've got to do is combine them so the sounds are the same. So if I just press play, that doesn't sound good, right? Because it's overlapping, right? So a good way to do it is normally we'd have the fader down. This is just the volume control of each side. We'd have it in our headphones. We're going to do it out loud instead. And so right there, it's not quite in. You can hear it slightly out, right? And to change that, we're going to move this way until it's in. You can hear it's getting further away. So that means we're turning the wrong way. So turn it this way. Until... There we go, it's in. And now we can take this one out. And this one's going. So that is what we're going to be doing, yeah? So, whenever you're ready, I want you to just press play on that side. And now bring the fader in and then try to bring this one in, yeah? It's okay to make mistakes, take your time with it. So you don't want to touch this. So, sorry, I should have told you this. So at the top, if we're touching that stops it. And if it moves it backwards or forwards, you want to touch the sides, and that's going to slow it down and speed it up. All right. So that's starting from the beginning, and this is now starting from the beginning. So whenever you're ready. So yeah, we're going to tune it in from the sides. Counting beats: 4, 8, and 16. Use your ears, don't use your eyes. So turn it until you can hear a difference. And if it sounds like going further away, then you need to turn it the other way. Then you just try to literally just use your ears, yeah? You can do bigger movements. Literally, you can go huge movements because it's quite far out. There we go. Try it the other way. It's alright, keep going, keep going. You're getting closer, keep going that way. Use your ears. Keep going. Not that way. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, so we've gone past it now, so we go back. Oh. Listen to the snares. The snares is always what helps me. There it is. So, you were super close. I think what the issue was, you're doing too small movements.
Right.
Because that, you will not be able to hear it. So try to do, at minimum, quarter. Because even if, so right now, so it's going to sound like a phaser when they're in sync, just because, I mean, they're the exact same tracks. But even if I do a quarter out, it still sounds like they're in sync. Another quarter out, that's where they're starting to split. So you can do full quarter turns until it's in place. And if it's really out, it might be better to just start again. But if you're bold enough, you can try to bring it back into place. Yeah. So, give it another go whenever you're ready.
Right.
So remember to bring in the faders. When you get onto a DJ deck from another person, because normally you're not going to be starting the night, you might, but most of the time you're after someone else. So the faders might be down, these might be here and everywhere, and then you've got to sort all of that out. But first things very first, we're just going to beat match, and then we're going to work out how to use the system, then we're going to work out how to use all of this and all of the other fancy stuff. What is in every single DJ deck, no matter what DJ deck you have, are these faders, the play button, and these turntables.
Okay.
Everything else, usually you will have these. They're not essential. You do not need these. You don't need these. There's tempo sliders. We don't need for this example because both of these tracks are the exact same tempo, 140. Yeah? Okay. But otherwise, yeah, we're focusing on just the absolute rudimental fundamentals right now. Okay. Yeah, whenever you're ready. Yeah, do full quarter turns until you're in. So you've got to think, is that going further or closer? That's it. That was it. That's perfect. That's it, that's perfect. All right, are you a dubstep guy or do you do other genres?
I try to be as multi-genre as possible, but dubstep is definitely the
fantastic. Yeah, I know, I fucking love dubstep. We're going to do some drum and bass then as well.
Okay, cool.
All right, so this is 174 beats per minute. For me, almost every time, but for dubstep, definitely, the snare is what helps my ears. The kicks can be fucking anywhere. Yeah. Hi-hats, fucking anywhere. The snare is always solid. With drum and bass, it's always just... So it's all the same. But again, if you fix your ears onto the snare, you're going to be fine. Yeah. With house, that's always also just... So that's, again, a lot easier. So you can focus on the kick or the snare with that. But drum and bass, yeah. If you go for just the snare, you're going to be fine, yeah? So give it a go. Go ahead. This is drum and bass. Oh, hold up. One moment, because that is not where it should be. All right. Yeah. And then if... I haven't done a hot point for this, but yeah. Go ahead whenever you're ready. going to do that. So we've got this. Oh, no need. Play this one into it. Perfect. So this is a little quicker doing it this way. Although, less fun. Alright. Alright, bring this one in whenever you're ready. So drum and bass seems a lot more easy, but could be just the practice that you've had, yeah? So keep going, keep going. We'll do one more transition, then we'll try house, yeah? You found it right away, to be honest. I mean, you might be able to try to reduce the phaser sound if you wanted to, although not essential. Okay, I think you're doing quite well with that, to be honest. So let's try 128, and I'm going to hotkey there as well. Master tempo, everything's good. We'll bring that back. Alright, whenever you're ready.
Alright.
Good. Apologies, this one wasn't at 128. That's something we'll work on later, but if you want, we'll start from the beginning again. Yeah, because that's going to be much harder to do. Good. Beautiful, there it is. That sweet spot, lovely. So most DJ decks have the visual, either on your laptop or this, but some don't, yeah? So it's always good to do it with it, exactly. And you can zoom in and then you can literally fully sync it up. In fact, some buttons have a sync button, so now this is literally perfectly in sync. But not all of them do, yeah? So most DJs, if you ask them, they're going to say don't rely on the sync button for that reason. So that's always better to just know how to do this sort of stuff. Yeah, this is perfect. Now, there is something that might happen, and that is, and almost definitely will happen, is the song won't be the exact same tempo that you had, right? So I'm going to reduce this down because right now it's wide, which means if I play this and move it fast, it goes super fucking fast. And if I go down, it's going to go all the way to just stopping, right? So I'm going to make it so instead it's going to go plus or minus 6 beats per minute, plus or minus 10 beats per minute. Now, I'm going to zoom out so that you can't use your eyes to sync it up. Although you can still use your eyes partially to see when the 16 bar ends, which is always, I think that's just helpful anyway, because some songs are a little different. But I'm going to bring this to a random place. We're going to put it here.
Okay.
And I mean, we can see where that is, but just try not to look at it, right? And whilst this is playing, we're going to still try to sync this up. And this is where it gets really difficult, because we're going to sync this up, and then we're going to move the tempo slider to where we think the tempo is, and then we're going to have to keep adjusting this whilst adjusting this, yeah? So I'm going to have a listen, just as an example. This would normally happen in my headphones. So it's in sync now, but I can hear it slipping. How do I fix it? I'm going forward. So I know that I need to increase the tempo. And then I bring it back in. There it is. And then when it slips, I've got to go forward again, so I'm going to move it forward slightly. And that is how we slowly get to the right BPM. Now when you're DJing live, you don't have this much time, so you've got the loop buttons, but we'll do that later, yeah? So that is what our next sort of task is. You can take as much time as you want because there's no rush for this. The main point is that if you don't have this screen, and you don't know what BPM it is, because that's an entirely possible thing, or you're playing with someone and they've got whatever random BPM song, they're like, oh, I love fucking bass house, and you're like, okay, great, now I've got to work with 130 maybe. Who knows, right? And then you're like, okay, I know this song is whatever, but it means nothing because they've got that. So yeah, give this a go.
Should I turn loop mode off?
It should be already off.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was already off. Firstly, try to get the snares in line. It's not going to be easy because it's going to keep moving. That BPM's 2 different ones, so keep working on it. And if you feel like you've gone too far, you can just press this. I've made it so it goes back to the beginning again, yeah? So you can always restart whenever you want. Even in a live performance, if this is going to be in your headphones, they don't even know. So you can, anytime you just restart, bring it back to the back to the front. If it's really far out, do big movements. Good. And if it's going further out, then you've gone the wrong way. And if it's too far out, you can just restart again, there's no rush. You can keep this slider up, to be honest. Yeah, that's fine. When you're wearing headphones, you'd have it down, but for now it's fine. And if it is too much, you can stop it, and then just listen to this one, get your timer back in, and then press play again, from the A. Big movements because it's BPM that's out. slightly out, so keep moving it. And if you move it that way, it gets faster. If you move it this way, it gets slower. So if you need to make it faster, that means you need to make it faster on the slider, which means moving that towards yourself. Are you struggling?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah? Alright. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Alright. So, we'll put this at a random place once again, and I'm going to bring this back to the front. So that's just going to be playing. I don't know where that is on this side, but we're going to bring it back to the front. We're just going to have a listen and feel the groove for a little bit. Wait for the next 16 bar, and then press play. Now that should be in sync. You can hear it starting to slip. So I'm going to move it one way and see if it's getting better. This way gets worse, this way does get better, which means I need to make it slower, and I can just bring that all the way back to the front again, and get ready again. So you can see I'm doing big movements, and I'm doing it constantly, because it needs constant slowing down, which means it's still out. And now I'm just going to bring it back to the front again. That's clearly out, let's try it again. So there it is, it's in sync, and we wait. If it stays in sync, then fine, but if you can hear it slightly slipping, and I've had to move it back, which means I need to move it up, because minus is lower, plus is higher. So I moved it just slightly, we get it back in sync. And then we wait. Now, right now would be the perfect time to do the transition anyway. But if you wanted to wait for a certain time in the song to do the transition, then you wait. So you can hear it. Now it's slightly slipping again. And I've had to move it forward to make that work. So I can adjust that slightly faster. And then that's it. I mean, you can see I'm 0.1 out now.
Yeah.
So that is the idea. But honestly, it's an advanced technique. And this is what the proper DJs would do, like the old school DJs without current technology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you already beat matching at the same BPM, being able to do that right away, that was really, really impressive. You know what I mean? I think doing the tempo slider shit, that's some stuff that you're going to need to do with practice. And do you have a DJ deck?
I do.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so that's what your homework is. Yeah.
Right.
All right, but otherwise, I think another day we'll go through the software stuff.
Yeah.
How to load up your USB, all of that fun shit. These are the lows, the mids, the highs. I think it's time that we practice with some real songs. Yeah? And I'll show you all the structury stuff later. But let's do some 140 BPM deep stuff. And all of those were just drums. There was no no key stuff there. So it really didn't matter about all of that BPM key stuff. But right now, these are melodic songs. So the key does matter. So I'm just going to choose a song that I know has decent drums in it. A lot of dubstep doesn't start with drums, which makes it quite difficult. I know Faddy Drummer does, but that shit doesn't work on my deck for some reason. So I'm just going to find you 2 songs with drums, but I want them to be 2 different songs. You can see that song had drums all the way through. This one sort of does. Nah, I'm not counting that as drums. Oh man, do you like old school dubstep?
I like all school dubstep, but
old school, yeah.
Old school's got a special nostalgic place. Of course.
It's got something good about old school. All right, so both of these are at the exact same BPM. I just did that by using the tempo slider, and you can see it there.
Yeah.
Where it is on different decks, is different. Sometimes it's literally on the actual turntable.
Right.
In this case, it's here, yeah. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with the right side, just because that's got fewer drums, and then we're going to bring in your left side and try to sync that up, yeah?
Right.
Don't worry about the bass, don't worry about the levels, leave everything up and just give it a go. Wait, hold up. Let me do that. So when you want to go back to the beginning, you can. All right,
Okay.
whenever you're ready.
All right.
So yeah, start with the right side, and then that's all good. Good. Perfect. We can test it by zooming in. It's slightly, it's good enough. It sounds perfect, right? Now, you can see the two drops are separate right now. So then we could do that, right? And so that's maybe the next step that we might be looking at, because right now you can see that these are two different sections. We can't have that shit playing together. It sounds not super good. Now, unfortunately, this song isn't structured a standard sort of 16, 16, or 32, 32, 32. This is instead 1, 2, 3, 4. So call that 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, call that 32. And then there's this random shit in the middle. And then it goes back to 32 again.
Right.
So there's a random, fucking random shit in the middle. And so that throws it all off. So instead, I mean, that's when looping comes into hand, right? Unless you start it with absolute pure definite, so that is to say, if this goes like that, and then you start this side exactly there, then that would be perfect. But you'd have to time it perfectly. But you can always fix it, right? But say you don't know where that is. You don't know that this song's going to have that little random weird shit, which is absolutely possible. That's when looping comes in really helpful. Or the effects or whatever, because that just sort of saves you. But I would recommend just taking the volume down and letting this play out, Just whatever is the leading sound at the time, let that play out. Because people don't want to be taken out of the zone into a new song when they were expecting a drop prior. Like if that drop was just about to happen. So do you want to try it again and see if you can link those drops up at the same time?
Sure.
Stop you right there. Yeah, you went the wrong way. All right, start whenever you're ready. So I'd recommend using the cue to get your bit rhythm. Good. Bam, 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 play. And 9 times out of 10 for me, pulling back is what I need to do rather than pushing forward. Good. Good. Here comes the drum to help. right time, press play. Alright, for ease, let's try the same songs. See how you do with that, yeah? So again, when you're bringing it in, so say this side's going. When you bring it in, I want you to just... So this is playing. Again, this is going to be in your ear. No one else will know that you're doing this. You're using this to get tempo. And that's it. So I do it quickly because when you're in a live performance, you want to be doing it quickly as well. You know, you want to transition as quick, especially fucking bro step where everyone's like, next drop. So yeah, as quick as you can. But right now, the main thing is not to do it quick, but to do it right. And then you can work on speeding it up later. Cool. Yeah, so you can do whichever side you want to start with and then bring in whatever side you want. Are you waiting for the drop?
Yeah. I know it's pretty just their mind. Ain't that so?
You happy with that?
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
Perfect, look at that. That's beautiful. And because you did it perfectly on the drop, that means eventually these two are going to line up. There. So at that time, so we're going to turn down the bass there. So now it sounds a little more smooth. And then once it reaches there, I want you to turn this bass up and take this volume down. Yeah? And that's going to be the transition.
I know it's pretty just their mind. Ain't that so?
Beautiful. And that's DJing, baby. That's DJing. So all DJing is, after that point, is just how fancy you can make the transition. As long as you got the basics, the fundamentals down, which you just did, except for the BPM shit, the majority of decks will have the BPM on there. So, but if you do know it, and do that, you're not going to be in a situation where you're like, oh shit, I'm in front of a giant crowd, and I don't know how to fucking do this. All right, that's beautifully done. Try at the end of the side, please. Yeah, cool. I mean it, just tap it on the beat. Yep, and that's gonna make your ears and fingers in control of when the time should be. Do it quick before the end of the drop. And now you don't have any material to work with. So this part is fine. because no one in the crowd's going to know if it's out of sync. The problem is, if it is slightly, this is only slightly, so I think it should be fine. But once the drop hits again, it's going to be noticeable at that point in time, you know what I mean? So see if you can transition, take one of these out and do it smoothly at the right time. Use your ears. Beautiful. Alright, so now, yeah, that's great. Here, that it is. Alright, now I want you to put that bass up, because you don't want bass clashing at the same time, like most of the time. So have this drop, have the main drop, okay? Whenever you're ready, as soon as you can. Nice. And take out the other one. Cool, yeah. You can have both playing at the same time, that works as well. A lot of DJs will do that. You don't have to be honest. Doing this is the exact same thing, right? Because this is the highs, this is the mids, this is the lows. So for example, if we're doing this, you can hear there's no sub, here is the sub. No lows, low mids, low highs. There is still, because it's minus 26, but even if you pump it all the way up, you can hear it's not a big difference. Because that's only plus 6, yeah? So, like I say, if you go like that, that is pretty much the same as that. Yeah, you know, because the lows are already gone. Alright, look, I think... How are you feeling? How you feeling?
Yeah, good.
What are you unsure of? Is there anything that you're unsure of? Or, like, what do you want to... Yeah, what are your thoughts right now?
Honestly, like, I wouldn't say I'm unsure of anything. It's just putting it into work. Yeah, no, it all seems very concise on a technical level. So,
yeah, literally, yeah. It's pretty straightforward. I think I'll go through the extra buttons at another time.
Yeah.
Because we've got trim. That's just gain. There's looping. There's hot cues. Beat jump, which fucking love this button. Tempo, master tempo. But all of these buttons are on the majority of Pioneer controllers.
Yeah.
But the fundamentals are obviously the most important. Literally, you can go through an entire mix with everyone thinking you're an amazing DJ using just the fundamentals without using any effects. Here are some effects. Here are some other effects. Yeah. So this is another way of going between songs, right? So if I were to play them both, and they just happen to be in time. So I can go from this is this side. In fact, I'm going to make it slightly up so we can hear a difference. So you can hear, we can go. Just slightly out, yeah? In fact, if I go like that, then you can hear it a little better. So these are completely just a perfect chord beat out. And so that's what the slider does. It says, this sound is what we're hearing, this sound is what we're hearing. And most decks will have some sort of control like this. This allows you to either have it go through, which means no matter where this is, both are going to be playing. So even if it's here, they're both playing here, this is just completely fucking useless if we go through it. And then you've got middle points, whereby if you're more this way, then this one's louder. You can still hear this, just much quieter. But I like to have it here, where even if it's here, they're both equal volumes. Here, equal volumes. As soon as you go here, then it's just one. That's also helpful for when you do scratching, which I never do. All right, look, I think you're getting it. I think we do a little more practicing, yeah? Because you're quite comfortable, I think, with the song when they're the same songs. But if we can do two different songs, that'll be quite helpful. So this is the bass with this song. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's got 16 bars, and then we do a 32 bar thing, and then another 16 bars. So in total, it's 64 bars, and it should be the same as that side. Okay. So what I want you to do is transition from this side to this side.
Okay. All right.
And remember, if you've got both up, try not to have the bass up for both.
Yeah.
You can, in this example, because we're practicing without headphones, but when we're doing headphones, we'll have the bass only up on one.
Right.
at a time, yeah? But for now, yeah, don't worry about it, just acknowledge that at some point you're going to be worrying about basses. Nice. Perfect. Very nice. Ah. Okay, alright, keep going. I'll tell you what the issue was there. So the song's in position of where the song is out of sync. So you can see here it's changed, whereas here is where it should change.
Right.
So if you were to bring this part in here,
Yeah.
then that might have synced up perfectly. That might have synced up perfectly. If you did it right at the beginning, that also might sync up. So now you've got to start thinking about the phases. In terms of 16 beats, 32 beats, they're actually the only two options, really. I mean, you could do 8 beats. Sometimes you'll have an 8-beat song, 8-beat change in fucking Skrillex songs. But otherwise, yeah, it's normally 32 beats or 64. All right, give it a go. Go ahead. So new beat, now. That's when the new beat was. Try to just start it on the new beat. You don't need to beat match it, just start it on the new beat. Perfect, now sync it. Okay, I'm going to stop you because you went way too far out. You should have gone backwards. And remember, the majority of the time you need to go backwards rather than forwards. So with that in mind, I think that might help you get it. All right, give it a go again. Again, completely fine to get it wrong. This is, you know, a practice sort of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when you're practicing, you're going to be practicing from lots and lots of different songs. And so that's going to just help in general anyway. So that was, yeah. But there's another one coming back up that you did. There is where you could have done as well. And that would have allowed you to drop it perfectly into the drum.
I'm just going to run this one back.
Yeah, okay. If you hold down search at the... Oh, no, that works. Might as well do the hotkey here as well. So you can hear how there was a delay there. The reason there's a delay is because when we go back, we might not start there. So if I press play there, that's going to take a little while. Right. So it's worth pressing Q so you know where, you know, I'm pressing Q, nothing's happening. So I go forward. There we go. Now we've got something. So even if we're here, and I'm going here, I'm pressing Q, it's going right there. Right. If I pressed play here, brother, if I pressed play here, it'll take a while. Right, great. If I press Q here, nothing's happening. I bring it forward until something is happening. And that is going to stay there. Even if I go forward a bit, even if I go there, that's bringing me back there, because that's Q. That's what Q does. All right, whenever you're ready. Nice. Nice. Beautiful. Now, beat match. If you're struggling, you're always welcome to just start again. good. Good work catching yourself and then just, yeah, taking your time. That's it. You don't need to be fast, you just need to be right. That's perfect. Beautiful. Yeah, I would say that's perfectly in time. Alright, now, say you're in a live performance. This is what's happening in your ears. What are you going to do? Yeah, go on, do what you think you want to do. This is what everyone's hearing right now. You've taken off your headphones, it's perfectly insane. Yeah, perfect. That's exactly it. Because you want to have just one bass going on. I would normally keep the bass that's going on there, and then have this on top, yeah? Although, what you did was not wrong. And here we've got a builder, and I would normally, when it gets to that short parts, that's when you let that bass come in. Old school with the new school, huh? New school. Yeah. Alright, cool. Alright, do you feel comfortable to try that again?
Yeah.
Yeah? And we'll see if you can do a transition, kind of like I did there as well, yeah?
Sure.
Apologies. Alright, yeah, whenever you're ready. Oh, it's one, so we'll do this as the last transition, yeah? Nice, good, yeah, because most of the time you need to go back. It's quite far out, so do big turns and listen to the snare. Much harder to do the where, yeah. But don't give up. You think you can do it? But if you do want to give up, it's not a bad idea to do so, yeah. Because you got to remember, in a DJ setting, they're not going to want to listen to it halfway through the drop anyway. It would need to be done before the drop. You can always control it with this. Good. Perfect. That's perfect. That's genuinely perfect. Alright, so you've got it synced up, the crowd's waiting. What are you doing? Write it out till the drop. Use your ears, whatever you think sounds best for these two songs. Perfect. Oh. There we go, yeah, perfect. Yeah, because this one's down, so there's no need to take away the sub. But there we go. Perfect. Do you know both of these songs?
I know
Headbanger. Yeah. That's what yeah, alright, yeah, okay, cool. Alright, cool. Yeah, well then, yeah, that's it. So what I'm thinking is we'll schedule another time. Let me pause the stream. We'll schedule another time. And